Good afternoon, everybody.
Afternoon delight.
Hello.
Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, good evening, and if I don't see you no more, good night. Good afternoon, good after morning, good after evening.
Well, let's see who's
There's
here.
a whole
Let's see
big
who's
bunch of
here.
folks there today.
There's my sissy, my brother-in-law.
Oh Lord, they ain't doing nothing.
Pastor Norman is here.
Norman
Hey, Pastor
J.
Norman.
Norman J.
There's Vern.
Vern Mimi.
And there's Brother Kessler.
Kessler G.
Joe's tuned in tonight. Hey, Joe.
Joe Lee.
Linda Langdon, our super fan, is here.
Joe Ellis.
And then there's Dee Dee and George. Hey, Dee
George
and
George.
John Greason's in the house.
Who's that with you, George? George and who?
Dee Dee and George.
What's that girl named George and who? Oh, George and Lefty. That's who that is.
Hey,
George
Sandra. How you doing, darling? Marvita's tuned in. Hey, sweetheart. And there's Deb. You back, Deb? Are you back in town?
Okay.
Dee Dee said, hey, y'all.
Hey.
What was your Father's Day like? You guys have a good Father's Day? I hope you did.
Dee Dee and that's Dee Dee.
I hope you had pretty good. Yeah, we didn't do much of anything, but it was nice, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
It was nice.
Quiet day. Dee, you tell Miss Lefty I want to talk to her, okay? I want to see her and talk to her. I ain't seen her in a long time.
Talking about her mom?
Yeah, that's her mom, Lefty.
Oh, okay. You have to go down there.
Yeah, I'm going to go down and knock her up under the coffee table.
Deb said she just got in.
Oh. Well, all right. I'm glad you made it back.
I'm glad you made it, sweetie.
Lord, we ought to have a hallelujah time when I come over there. You make sure my buddies be over there when I come too next Friday.
Okay. Dee Dee said, okay, she'll get Lefty, you and Lefty hooked up.
Oh, right. I'll come. I want to see her. I want to knock her clean out of the country and bring her back and knock her under the kitchen table.
By the way, Vern and I are working on something special for all of us to be able to get together for my birthday. I'll be sending you some stuff out pretty soon because I'll need a head count, okay? Anyway, you'll hear more about that in a little bit.
Ooh, head count.
Yeah. It's something that Vernie and I are working on. Vernie's working on it with me.
Let us know.
Yeah, I got a birthday coming.
Oh, when is it?
July 28th.
I know. I say it all the time. July. Somebody may say, "What's your birthday?" I said, "July 28th." Oh, that's her. My birthday, July 28th, 1948. Mm-hmm.
I cannot believe I'm turning 75. We'll both be 75 until November, and then you'll turn 76.
I got you beat.
Yeah, about 9 months.
I'm 9 months from being 76.
Exactly 9 months between us.
Oh, shucks. I'm
John says he's not a father, but he went to Carolina Beach to see his dad. Okay.
Oh, John, did you do it? Oh,
real good. You got a chance to get some sun?
I'm glad to know both y'all got drunk at the same time. That's pretty good, John.
All right, y'all. Let's gear down and get in, okay? Let's do this. I'm going to say we're going to do this one, and then I'm going to do one short one after that. You've heard before. But let's talk about what love is. Love is the collapse of a sense of separation. Love is the desire to remove the gap. Love is the desire to be one and not two. Love can never be demanding, but instead it sets one free. Love has no self-interest and is never concerned with winning. Love has no reason to love. It just is. Love desires nothing from the other. Needing to be right is not the language of love. Love holds no position to argue. And love cannot be threatened. Now, this is lesson 189 out of the Course in Miracles, and it says simply do this. Be still and lay aside all thoughts of what you are and what God is. All concepts you have learned about the world, lay those aside. Lay aside all images you hold about yourself. Empty your mind of everything it thinks is either true or false, good or bad, and every thought it judges worthy. Empty your mind of all the ideas of which it is ashamed. Hold on to nothing. Do not bring with you one thought that the past has taught. Do not bring with you one belief you ever learned before from anything. Forget this world. Forget this course. And come with wholly empty hands unto your God. And so it is.
I want to learn to disciple our true self, not the personality, but the essence, the God identity, your eternal, never dying self. Disciple that particular area. And who the disciple is the one that existed before the word disciple came. The you that is always and have always been the one with God identity. That one that is with God is God identity with God Himself. You are the identity with God Himself.
Face the truth. Shun exclusivity.
Ooh.
Become willing to go all the way with the truth. Accept what is. Forgive and surrender. This ought to be called, I need one more to add to it, but I could call it the 10 Commandments of.
All right, I say at least, at last, that is called the seeker and the finder is actually the real you communicating as individuality, but playing the game.
I like that. Now, Linda said she's having trouble on her video. She lost the video on YouTube. She's not sure if it's her. Is anybody else on YouTube having problems? Let me know. It's not anything happening on our end. Unfortunately, I can't do anything with it. So she's now on Facebook, but let me know if YouTube's having any problems. I like what you just said. Can you repeat it?
I added some in there between.
I knew you did. You brought some intuitive knowledge up, didn't you? All right. Let your understanding be stretched. I think that's important, to let your understanding be stretched, because sometimes we are afraid of what's unfamiliar. Especially in Marvita mentioned this, I think, on the Zoom. The language is what divides us most of the time. It's the language that people use, and so it's
the language is not the true communication of the pure self.
No, but
if it is not coming through the beingness that speaks without a language.
Yeah, well, it's the best we've got. To communicate.
We have to say it in that strength so that it will intuit you. Intuition you.
Made something new.
Or to intuition itself into the position of no positionality to see the truth of who.
Now you lost me. You lost me. You,
I know.
You make it twist.
I turned it around.
Yeah, you turned it around. Can you do it again?
Okay. The you that is called the seeker is the same one who is looking and finding itself at the same time, never leaving or moving from one place to another. I did change it a little bit.
You did, and you lengthened it too. So
Yeah.
it's okay. It's okay.
Mhm.
And all right, choose to be totally unselfish. I don't know why we're just giving you these one-liners, but it's good. Choose to be totally unselfish. See yourself as one with God, complete, without labels and without descriptions.
Mhm. Here's another key. The ego, the watcher, the real self, will show the ego up how it is and will show the scenes, will show the actual scenes and the tapes that run the trail of the ego at the moment it is recognized by the pure self. What is it?
No, I'm just listening. I'm listening.
How
Listen.
it is seen in every thinking, judgment, moving moment is revealed by the pure self. And yet, the pure self is the one who actually allowed the ego to seem like it is the real self, but actually is a tooth with a bad headache.
A
Or
tooth with a bad
a
headache.
tooth with a bad headache.
A tooth.
Hold still. Tooth with a bad headache and a bad toothache.
Okay, a tooth with a bad headache.
Yeah, you never heard of a tooth hurting so bad to make your head hurt?
No, you said a tooth with a bad
A
headache.
tooth, bad tooth,
Does a tooth
a
have a
rotten
headache?
tooth.
Can a tooth have a headache?
Yeah,
Okay.
because it's connected to the pain body. See there? You don't have to talk.
You working it. You working
Yeah, you
it.
don't have
But
to talk.
I like what you said. I don't think you can go back and say it.
Okay.
But about the scenes, the scenes of the ego, uh, the keenness of a watcher
Okay.
can catch how the ego is even constructed.
Okay.
And you know, two of us have been kind of catching the ego when it's acting out. We're catching it as we move around in our day-to-day activities. So it's like we become really, really sensitive, and we
Mm-hmm.
can see the seams of it, how it's actually constructed. In some cases, we can see how it actually came to formation. And so and when you do catch the ego, you are not bound by it.
Mm-hmm.
You're no longer bound by it. The moment you catch it, you're not bound by it.
The you that is always and have always been the truth of God is the with God, the for God, the meaning of God, the expression of God, the seeing of God is the same one
Mm, mm.
that is doing all of it from the non-doing self.
Okay.
Okay?
Yes, sir.
God is the one that identifies himself doing all of those seemingly operations.
Okay. How about stop analyzing your experiences
Yeah.
and simply live?
Okay.
Stop analyzing any of your experiences and just live. Um,
When he says,
life is supposed to be spontaneous.
Yeah.
It's not supposed to be premeditated. But I find we do premeditate a lot.
it says in the Bible, when he called the 12 and sent them, he called himself as a disciple.
Mm-hmm.
Played it all the way through
Mm-hmm.
and pretend like he was individuality. At the same time, he was them sending himself.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Key to guidance is to disciple your true self. And
Disciple your true self.
disciple your true self, and the one that disciples the true self is God Himself. It's like I call me, but I'm calling God. Dial God's phone number, and at the end of the line, you'll end up finding who you are, answering the phone. Thank you very much.
Oh, you're on a roll.
Find
You're
out
on a
how
roll.
to read the energy. Look into everything that will cause you to see the nomadic entrance
Hmm?
of the estate of who you are, the state of your true spirit, seeing.
You lost me at nomadic entrance.
Yeah,
What is that?
a nomad. You know what a nomad?
Yes, I know what a
What's the
nomad
definition
is.
of nomad?
It's one who wanders and doesn't have a home. They
Seeing.
just wander.
That's what Jesus said. The book said he had nowhere to lay his head.
So read that to me again.
Okay. Look into everything. I can't say it like that.
Well, just read it.
Look
for
into
me.
everything that will cause you to see the nomadic exit and entrance into the who it is as spirit, seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting, and knowing. And at the end of that, you will be right back home again. You make a full circle. God is us making a full circle, and He's smiling and laughing
Mm-hmm.
in the midst of it.
Mm-hmm. I got you. I got you.
The lover of all selves is the one who covers everything with Himself. He is saying, I got your back. I got your back in more ways than in covering your back or your blind side. God supposedly blinds Himself from seeing Himself so that He can find Himself as the no egoic self in full operation.
Okay. You want to do tongue twisters tonight? I see.
I got you, baby.
Mm.
Everything in us and outside of us.
Look, those of us who sat under your ministry in the brick and mortar are used to those times when you would want to give us riddles, and we'd have to sit there and some. I remember some of them they would get bug eyed because it just goes right over the mind. The mind can't get with those concepts because they aren't conceptual.
And eventually you will find out that there is no such place as kangaroo hell. See, I got you, didn't I? Everyone that came into this world came under the hypnosis. Reverse this hypnosis, and you will see the fullness of the real self. The key answer to everything that is questionable is answered by the true God identity. Guidance, words of God, being led by the Spirit, seeking the whole shaboom is wrapped up in one awakening.
Okay. Norma says yes. He knows what I'm talking about.
Don't say it like that, because if you do, you're going to find out who it is that says yes.
Oh my God.
That's the truth, Latoya. It's the whole truth, Miss Linda. It is the Joe Renee Carr truth. and the Pearl Lucas truth.
I want to ask a question. There's I can't remember who did this illustration, but there was an illustration of God and or good and evil in a battle.
You
But
won't believe what I just looked at when you were talking.
what?
The very words that you were saying was here. We chose everything, all, all of it, seeing this as the big one, the good and the bad, the right and the wrong, is removed, absolutely removed
Yeah, yeah.
when the true self is revealed.
Okay. Well, what I was about to say.
It's about that.
What I was about to say
Mhm.
is there this illustration of good and evil. It's a picture I think somebody drew in a struggle that that there was a war between good and evil, and I think that has been a belief in a lot of our minds. But if God is God, and it is, and it is all powerful, there's nothing that can war with it. There's nothing that can fight it. There's nothing that could even possibly win against it. So there's no war between good and evil.
That's right.
There's no battle going on. There's a war inside of us for the supremacy of that we are to come forward, kind of like a person who has multiple personality disorder.
Mhm.
And I remember in the movies that I watched, I think one of them was Eve, and there was some others that came out. One had Halle Berry in it. There've been several that where the character was depicted as one who had multiple personality disorder, and you would see there were moments when one personality would emerge, the other would recede. And I think inside of us, while it's not that dramatic and it's not that noticeable, there is this struggle for supremacy, for that is truly us, the permanent identity, to come forth and remain and not fall back into the egotistical idea of ourselves. I think that is a legitimate thing, but it's not a war necessarily. It's like it's a remembering and a forgetting, a remembering and a forgetting, a remembering this is what I am, and a forgetting this is what I am. And at that moment, the small egotistical self becomes the one in the forefront, and we see it act out. Does that make sense to you? And that's what I'm beginning to see. There's no war between God and the devil, or good and evil. There's no war between that.
I heard your words when you said there was no, and at that moment I heard your words. Actually, when you said there was no, my vocal cord became noticeable one. But when your vocal cord led through, there was no. Mine said there was no. I heard the voice of your vocal cord from over here, over there, back and forth, left and right vocal cord. I don't know if that's true or not, but I just said it. Okay.
Man of the universe. Hey, man of the universe. He says we are at war with ourselves. Yeah, that's true. And that's why we think there's good and evil. Exactly.
The Sonic Hedgehog, I was talking to somebody about it this morning. There is a low budget film of the Sonic Hedgehog. And then there's a
it's the hedgehog.
What are you going to call
like
it?
A pig. Hedgehog.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Go ahead.
The Sonic Hedgehog creature.
Yes.
In the low budget film. And then there's the quality upgraded film of the same
remake.
But it is more into the real thing, like the Popeye cartoons, and then there was one that was actually more realistic Popeye scenes.
Yeah.
The high self is peeping through the cracks in the soul. And as the cracks in the soul experience the fragrance of the high self, it produces healing salve that is bathing the wounds and the scars and turning them into information advantages, not advantages to take advantage of, but to assist the coercion of the experience, but never been attached to an experience coming through those scars, to remind the scars that it must be always ready through the healing salve to allow those scars to become doors of prompt, perfected communication skills. I see you looking at me too. I can see through your glasses and your eyes who it is looking at me.
Okay.
For once again, I hear your words saying to me, have I not been so long sitting beside you and you've not known me until now? I let you discover me. You did not find me. I found the discovery of the mother lode through finding who is the goal.
Come on, Boo.
I am not
Would
Boo.
you stop talking in riddles? Oh, my Lord.
She called me Boo. My name ain't Boo.
Linda.
They wasn't supposed to hear that Boo word. That's
okay.
She done let the secret out.
Chill on the riddles a little bit. A little bit. Linda says you can't have good without evil. It's a duality thing. Both are concepts. Also an experience thing. Yeah.
That's good.
It's true.
Miss Linda, what we like about it is that behind that, what you just said, in what you just said, and who said it through you when you said it, is the one who is playing the full game. I like it. It sounds good. I'll tell the boss man to give you a raise. You deserve it. Thank you. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's roll, girl.
I'm listening. Go ahead.
Okay. Through being us, we be him. We are the we be I am. We are already there-ness.
Okay.
The absolute wisdom of God expanded itself from the right to the left brain, and we chose all of this as pretending to be the seeker. This is the big one. The big one is, who is this masked rider? Hayo Silver, away. The Lone Ranger has finally pulled the mask off and revealed himself to us as being the Christ.
Don't look at me. Don't look at me. You looking at me like, what you think? What do y'all think? Does this make any sense to any of you? Just let me know. Let me know if it's just me. Is my brain having what? A moment? I don't think it's just me, but I need to know. I need to know.
Hey, the reason why I'm doing that there, her left brain is so stuck. It's
not stuck. My brain is not stuck. What's going on with yours?
It's loose.
Oh my man. You get to talking in that crazy mystical talk. Nobody gonna understand the thing you talk about. Man of the Universe says things aren't 100% true or false. Perception is key.
The lover of all life is the lover himself. The tears that he dropped out of his eyes are the tears of his words that seem to be silent, but every drop is the tip of the iceberg into seeing who is the tears and the one that wiped the tears being the same.
Man of the Universe. Norma's laughing, of course, because he's used to it. Look, Money Universe says you can confuse sometimes, but you mostly make sense. Takes one to know one. That's what I say.
Hey, I'm telling you the truth, man. This is the real deal. It's the
Oh
real
my
deal,
God. Oh
man. It's the
Lordy,
real
Lordy,
deal.
Lordy.
Anyway, I just love to talk like that because I'm put. Oh, okay,
Listen, you gotta
okay,
hear this. Gotta hear
okay.
this.
What is?
Linda, said, Linda says, Linda, you're an instigator. She said,
Mhm.
I heard Francis Lucille say to someone, your problem is the one who is having the problem. I think Boo is freeforming today.
Oh God, help me, baby
I
Jesus.
feel like I took the red
Help,
pill.
help me. Help me, baby Jesus, and all your cousins and sisters, Uncle Nieces, boys. This calls for a drink. Thank you very much. Mhm.
Oh, this is what I've lived with for 54 years.
This is called pure moonshine, and they always say it in the moonshine house because the liquor house, drink your liquor straight. You don't need no chaser.
Oh my gosh, you're a mess.
Hot dog.
Whatever the level or the field of energy that you have around you or in and through and by you that you are determines what options are presented to you. I heard another, I posted it on Facebook today. Manasseh Jordan was talking about you don't get what you desire and what you think, you get what you feel, what you feel you are. And that is what you get. And I thought that was really, really good. So it's the energy that you are that presents the options to you.
The personal, seemingly relationship is created by the infinite to be the we that work the system, seemingly, of the science of how things are made in our bodies and our suits. And he says to himself, what suits you? Suit yourself with the best, and be thou suited up for the rest. Thank you very much.
Don't look at me. Why do you keep looking at me?
The definition of science is how things work.
Yeah.
When I was a little boy, right there in the wood yard, all types of piles of slabs and sawdust around me. I was trying to use my uncle's long handled axe to split wood, firewood, on a chopping block. He made me a chopping block, set it up, and took an old hatchet, sharpened it, and put a handle in it. And that was my personal chopping block. And I went out there and I cut wood all day long and piled up one of the juiciest piles. And I can remember the moment that I got this inspiration from the throwing and the splitting of the first block of wood. That space behind me to my left, in the part of the barn or wherever it was, the place where he stored the wood, filled it up. And my course was to stay there all day and half the night, if it took that, to fill that place up. And I did. I never told you about that part of my life.
You didn't.
It's like me working on those earth moving toys in the garage, or working on some, or you working, designing something here in the house. That's an inspiration that comes from the inspiration department of the infinite eternal self. And I didn't know that at that moment I had that drive. That was the eternal self driving, even when I was not aware of there ever being a me under that description. Thank you. I heard him say inside. Thank you. And I can see.
Pearl says she hears you speaking out of another realm, and the mind can't grasp it because it doesn't know that realm.
Oh, Thank you.
And it doesn't know that realm.
Thank
You're right.
you.
It does not know that realm.
Thank you. That now to me that makes sense.
Yeah, sure does. Yes.
But if it, I just use that word makes sense, Miss Pearl, but it don't have to fit in
and
that. I mean,
and you know
making
what?
sense don't have to fit in there. It don't. It's like you said. It didn't
And
come from that
those of us
realm.
who've been around you for
Mhm.
years, we know that every now and then you get in that poetic mystical mode, and that's the way you want to talk. You talk from that realm, and when you do, we just have to hold on and just wait until our minds can catch up. Sometimes the minds can, sometimes it can't.
It speaks out of the range of unassisted natural comprehension.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Only can be divined by discerned by.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that's true.
That
That's
song
true.
said, "By and by, when the morning comes, all
All
the
the saints
saints
of God
God
can
gathering
gathering home,
home
tell the story
of how
how we
we
overcome,
overcome,
and we'll understand
stand it
it better
by
by
and
and
by,
by.
by and by, y'all. I'm going over there. By and by, y'all. I'm walking on the air. By, y'all. I put that stuff together.
You're
Woo!
a
Glory be to
mess.
God
You're a
and all
mess.
his cousins and nieces and nephews and the baby
Oh
Jesus
my.
coming back again. Okay.
Hmm.
We are the thing. We are the everything that God is made of. We are beyond everything. We are what is and always will be.
Mhm.
The never dying self.
Mhm.
I told Brother Vincent Crenshaw this morning when he called me, I said, "Are you in the doctor's office?" He said, "I just walked in the door from the doctor's office." I was talking to him about his mother who crossed over finally. She left him one day. He was working at the music store, and his sister called him, he told me, and said, "Mama is gone." At the time, at the time she called him, he hung the phone up and told his boss man that his mother just passed. And his boss man told him, said, "You stay still, get yourself together. And when you get together, you can leave anytime." Vincent said while he was sitting there, he got another call from his sister, said, "Mama just moved her eyes." Said they thought it was just a twitching of the body, but finally, Mama, it was a strange thing. He said she went to snoring in the sleep. She was in the sleep. Look at this. Look at this.
Mhm.
My buddy just showed up here. There she is. You see her nose there?
Lord,
She's
don't let
a
baby girl come in here. We won't get
oh my
anything out of
darling
her.
baby girl. She demanding a scratch on the chin. She loved the scratching on the chin. Don't care what we're doing, who's in the house. She said, "I want your attention and I'm gonna get it."
Now listen.
Okay,
Listen.
go ahead. I hear you.
Norman says we have to readjust and tune into your frequency.
Well, you are.
Yes.
You're
Yes.
there. You're there.
And look, Norman, I want to tell you this, and I heard you say you preached a sermon about people having a vision, and the scripture says, where they're without a vision, the people perish. And
Oh, wow,
I
heard
got
that.
I got a new understanding of that. I remember when my granddad retired from R.J. Reynolds, and he was in his 60s, late 60s when he did, and he was always uh, very functional, could just, he was very active until he retired. And when he retired, it's like he wasted away. And it wasn't long after he retired, he passed. And I've noticed that that's something that happens to a lot of people when they have been working all their lives and they retire. And if they don't have anything in their life that they find meaningful, they usually end up dying pretty soon after. And it's because they no longer have anything that feels like gives them purpose.
I'm gonna ask you a question.
Me?
Yeah.
Okay.
wonder why you said that.
I don't know.
Strange.
But I also know this, that you don't have to be doing something important to have purpose in your life, to have meaning. And a lot of the dissatisfaction with ourselves comes from the mind and its egotistical ideas that it has no more significance. And uh, so whatever you do, whatever state you find yourself, that should, it can be enough. It can be enough, and there can be meaning in that. Even the mundane things, there can be meaning in the mundane things if it's approached with mindfulness, if it's approached with presence, being absolutely present while you're doing it, whatever you're doing, even the menial tasks. If you are very present while you're doing it, washing dishes, whatever, sweeping the floor, it's no matter what it is, it can provide meaning for that one if they are completely present.
He said, I built the banisters for the handicapped to leave on or to lean on.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
He said, I built the steps that the handicapped make. I built the grip in his hand to hold the banister as each step is taken.
Mm-hmm.
He said that I am the steps.
Mm-hmm.
I am the steps inside of the unrighteous that are righteous and don't know it.
Yeah.
I am also the steps in the righteous that do know it.
Yeah.
So one step in one or the other is the same awareness that I put there in the hidden corners of the gold motherlode that is hidden in the mountain that will eventually reveal itself downstream.
Mm-hmm.
Downstream it flow, downstream it go, but it waits to reveal itself to those who are ready for more. For more they will see and more they will hear. And at the end of the pier where they're leaning on the bridge, I shall reveal to them the clarity of the water so that they can see where the gold flowed from.
You're looking at me again.
You said I always did look.
Yeah, now you're looking at me now.
That word that you just said there is synonymous with you reading my mind about your granddaddy. I saw it. He said that my uncle lived over 100 years old because he was not aware that me living with him was his purpose and destiny that lengthened his days, even though it seemed that he was evil and mean. I brought to pass through him into you and you to him the true meaning of the Lord lengthening your days.
And I like what you said, seemingly to be mean, because some of us come into this earth existence, and before we leave this earth existence, we don't ever get reborn.
That's true.
We are never, and some of us are never reborn, never born out of the survival instinct of get what I want the way I want, any way I can. That survival instinct, some are never reborn out of that into a higher level of living as a human with love. They don't.
He said, we are each other's new birth experience.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
We are each other's manifestation of the glory of God.
Mm-hmm.
God said, the Spirit said, Your hat is hanging on the hat post.
Mm.
Reach and grab it and see who it is that's wearing it.
I remember the movie we used to watch all the time. And you and I had, it was one of our favorite movies. Remember the old movie, Buckaroo Banzai?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
what was it? John Big Booty.
Big Booty,
John
yeah.
Booty said, "Laugh it while you can, monkey boy.
Left for the, yeah, I want you more. Yeah,
Home
yeah.
is where you hang your hat."
Yeah, 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 yeah. If you got Buckaroo Banzai,
Oh.
that's old good. We used to love looking at that.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, we did. Linda says, righteousness is the awareness that you already possess. You already possess it all. Yeah, yeah. And hmm, years ago in my Jesus in me days, I tried my best to live right.
You're still doing it.
No,
Oh yes.
I'm not trying any longer. Not trying any longer.
Yeah, you see that right there? Yes, she is.
Man of the universe says to die before we die isn't the end. Resurrection is next.
I told a preacher one time in my office some years ago. He came in and he was supposed to be my Cape Crusader. He said um, he was the doctor of love or something like love doctor. And I told him, I said, don't play games. He said, I'm going to take you in
No,
under
why
my
you bring
wings.
that? Why'd you bring that up?
I'm getting ready to tell you something. If you hold your horses
All
now.
right. All right.
And I told him, I said, don't play games with me. I said, because everything that you play with me, I'll kill it, bury it, and raise it up. He said something like, yes, I will resurrect it. And I said, when you resurrect it, I said, I'll kill it and raise it up again. And I told him, so don't play games. So I never did hear from him again after
I
that.
wonder why.
I kind of,
You guys,
I found
them
out
two
why.
egos had a fit in that room.
Because it was just revealed to me that the thing that I went through all the way through school from the first to the 12th grade and all that, the 13th grade, they tore down the school, the first grade where I went, the building, the school, the first grade, so that they would be able to move me to the second grade. Because if they hadn't tore the building down, I never would have moved on. But anyway, I just found out that this precious commodity that I worship so much about punctuality and spending my whole life sick and health and sickness and
pushing to go
pushing
anyway.
to go in the rain, sleet, and snow. Develop an ego that says to everybody, I don't go for this being late or not being on time and
or not being committed.
Mm-hmm. And the Spirit revealed that the ego was the one.
Yeah, you caught it.
I caught it. Mm-hmm. It was caught by the caller.
Yeah.
God is the caller that catches. And he caught the catcher of the caller. And now that the catcher has been seen, the caller has been seen, it is now revealed by inventory revelatory investigation, the prognostication of the ability of the beingness to express itself in full awareness. Thank you very much. I appreciate your business. Your business take 2 aspens to come to see me on Tuesday. Okay. Thank you very much.
Well, I'm glad when you caught it, you didn't judge yourself as if it was you doing it.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I think I'm really see this is what cause and destiny purpose in being God, cause and purpose on this line tonight is a cause in the ears of the middle ear of the spirit to hear and the inner eye.
Yeah. Well, I've said this in this night and any other time that we were speaking will prove out what I said or not.
Mm-hmm.
That everything is purposeful. Mm-hmm. Even this, even how we talk, even if it doesn't register, it still is purposeful. And I'm finding that you don't have to have anything specific to do in your life to live with purpose.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't have to be anything specific, and especially doesn't have to be anything that other people think is important or prestigious. It definitely doesn't have to be that. My sister, and I think she wouldn't mind me telling this. She caught her ego. We were talking about it on the phone last week, this weekend. She said there was an office, there was a front office at her job that she had been working in previously, and there's another office. And so when she went back to this position that she's now holding, and I may not be telling it exactly right, but when she went back to that position that she's now holding, she had the option of taking the front office. But her coworker wanted the front office so bad. She said she said she realized that when she was about to take the front office, that it was her ego that wanted that because it made her feel more of it was important to have that front office. Her ego felt some juice about it, and so when her coworker wanted it so bad, she relinquished it and gave it to the coworker.
Oh.
When she realized that's what the ego was doing,
okay.
She gave it to the coworker and took the other office, which was a little bit in the back.
Yeah.
But it's private. And she said the moment she did that, her coworker was so happy about getting the front office. But then the director put another person in the front office with her.
Ooh. Now that is a dilly.
So Renee ended up with her private office because she relinquished it, having caught the ego, caught it in the act, and relinquished it and gave the office to her coworker.
So you're saying the universe gave my sister-in-law an extra dip of ice cream by being willing to share a whole dip with a friend.
Yeah, and it was only after she was.
There's a song said, "We have a friend."
Yeah, but it was only after she caught the ego in the act.
Yeah.
And the light was thrown on it, and then when she realized that, she relinquished it, gave it to her coworker. And it was so funny because her coworker was all up in the air about getting it, and then the director put another person in there with her. She had to share it.
Isn't that something? Boy, that's a good one. That is good.
Yeah, and she's saying when I gave it up. Yeah, she said when she gave it up, and then she found herself in a better position.
That's really great. I like that. I think I heard you talking to her something about that on the phone.
Yeah. So it's important that you catch the ego in the act, and when you do, then just don't judge yourself for having that come out of you or that being presented out of you, but then relinquish whatever.
I heard somebody say, "I wish I could catch it like that."
Well, you can.
Hold on.
You can.
Hold on.
You can.
That was a prayer that was prayed from your praying self, communicating what is called conversational praying.
Yeah.
It was heard, and you'll be experiencing that soon.
And you catch the ego when you realize the nature of it. The nature of it is mostly 99% of the time about survival, and I can get what I want when I want it, whatever way I have to get it. That's the main theme of the ego. Or I'm special, I'm different from everybody else, and so I deserve this, or I'm not as good as. It's always those things in the ego. So it's always a concept of yourself that is trying to build. It's always that.
I'm reminded what this man that used to play Peter, somebody used to play The Millionaire.
Oh yeah, is that the one who used to give millions of dollars?
He would send somebody
$1 million.
Yeah, I'm gonna pull that up online tonight and look at it.
Yeah.
He would give $1 million to an unexpected. There was on YouTube. There was a young man that was wanting to catch a ride somewhere to McDonald's, whatever it was. And this guy came by and said, "Hey, sir, I need a ride. Can you give me?" So he gave him a ride. When he got to the place, he got out.
Yeah.
and he got food and everything. And I don't know whether he gave the guy a ride with something, but anyway, he ended up said when the guy got out of the car, the rider, he said, "I got something for you." Reached in the billfold and pulled out $500 and gave it to him.
Mm-hmm.
And the guy didn't want to take it.
Oh yeah. That's right. I remember that.
Yeah.
Yes.
I like things that I mean, this is not for ego's sake, but I said it the point that it could be. I've always seen myself going in K&W or a restaurant and writing a check out or paying cash for everybody's meal in the restaurant without them knowing it.
Right.
And there have been people that have done us like that in the restaurant. They knew us. Yes. And when I go up to pay the bill, they said that person that just left is already taken care of it. Mm-hmm. I've had that happen so many times, and I love doing that. Sometimes I used to be in K&W, and I would walk by, and I pick up the receipt off of their table. Some people would say, you don't have to do that.
Now, even in those good things that you're mentioning, you can catch the ego even in that, because the ego wants to give, but it only wants to give to somebody that it thinks is worthy of it, or somebody who looks like they need it, really need it. But it isn't open to just whoever spirit lands on. I'll say it like that, because it isn't always somebody that's down and out.
Yeah. Miss Linda said that's a good story.
It is. And Sissy has those moments when she and I talk, and it's like we're evolving together, the two of us. And so we have all these stories we share with one another. I thought it was really good. And then we laugh because it's so obvious.
Yeah.
It's so obvious when you catch the ego and then you relinquish that thing that the ego is driving you to have. And then all of a sudden you're in a better spot than you would have been.
For the last couple of nights and days in my sleep, I've been communicating with different people that are on the other side spontaneously. It's not where they would say, I see them, they are aware of me and that time. And when I see them, all them faces are pleasant. My dad, your mom, some of the other ones I could name, Pastor Johnson, and some of the others. She messing with my fingers because I've been outside picking up dirt with my hands, and
his
I washed them.
Dirty. I've got another story about catching the ego. This happened to me years ago. I was driving my car, and it was in rush hour traffic, coming home from work, and I remember there was this line of cars, and I was in this line of cars, and there was a policeman trying to get into the line of cars. I could have slowed up and let the policeman get in front of me.
He didn't have his light on, did he?
No, but instead I moved up when the traffic inched up. I moved up, and he had to get behind me.
Oh.
And when he did, I didn't know my tags had expired.
Ooh.
And he gave me a ticket.
Did he really?
Yes.
Oh.
I said, if I'd just been more courteous and just given him the right to get in that spot. But the ego is all about, I'm gonna get this.
What did he say?
He didn't say anything. He wasn't angry because it was just a lot of traffic like that.
Did he say, ma'am, your tags are expired?
When he got behind me, he immediately turned his thing on, whoop.
Yeah, that's one of them did it. Sorry.
What? So that was it. Yeah. And it was because I was fighting for that one spot in that traffic, in that lane.
Yeah.
And that's how the ego gets us into positions where we don't like what's happening to us.
Well, we've had a time today. I mean, I think so. What do you guys think about all this?
It's been interesting.
It's been interesting. Yep.
It's been very interesting.
My sister don't say yep. She says yep.
Who says that?
Yep.
Yep.
Y-E-P. I said yep. That I thought when I said yep, he said my uncle used to call a little dog with little hound hunting dog a jip, little jip.
Okay.
Yeah. What do you think of that little Jip? That little dog. It's a little Jip. They call it a little hunt dog.
You've got some real
Yeah.
stories. Some real stories. Hey, Jill said she loves this. I'm glad you loved it, Jill.
I am absolutely grateful.
I loved it too, Jill.
In the greatest moment of the life of God, the life of Jesus. This is the biography of the life of Christ. Is that right, pup? That's my baby girl back again.
Baby girl went and got her hair fixed yesterday.
Yeah, she got her beauty parlor deal yesterday. You want to talk to Mama?
She did.
Talk to Mama.
She got her hair done. Got her hair done.
Yes, she is.
John says it has been very interesting.
It has been.
Mm-hmm.
John, I really appreciate that. I had a chance to see you the other day and all the rest of you. I'm looking forward to seeing you. Yeah, we love the Zoom.
The Zoom was good.
It was Zoomy,
really
right?
Really
Zoomy Doomy.
Yeah, we got to do that again.
I felt like we was at the fairground and all of us was walking together as a group and a team, and we were riding all kinds of Ferris wheels and roller coasters and eating popcorn and looking at all the festivities and having fun just being at the fairground.
Who was that we told about what happened to us last time we went to the fair? We were talking to Trina on the phone, and we were telling her about the last time we went to the fair with Dee Dee and George. They took us to the fair. We were thinking when we got up to the gate, we were going to pay, and baby was all prepared to well, actually George was going to pay for us. But then we got to the gate. The lady said, "Oh, y'all can go on in." Said, "You don't have to pay anything." And we looked at each other like, "Why?" It was because we were seniors.
I wouldn't consider identified as a senior. I ain't no senior, but I took the deal,
Yeah,
Listen,
we did. We took the part.
Watch the No Doing Siv bring about you guys tremendous blessings, and they will be seen in the sense of good deals, that had to be, and you recognize it. Little small things will come. I sense that around all of you, through all of you, that all of a sudden it's a deal. It is a quick moment of a burst of expression of the universe.
Now, Sissy's telling them about the time I was wearing a lab coat because I was an office manager for a physical therapy clinic for years. And I went out to lunch and I went to get one of those newspapers out of that rack, you have to put the quarter in and get it up.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know why I decided I wanted two papers. Mm-hmm. And so when I I got two papers after I put my quarter in there, but then when the thing slammed shut, it slammed my my lab coat up in it, and I couldn't get away without paying another quarter.
The universe said, "Not today."
I was gonna get a free paper, and then it said, "Oh no, you're not." So the ego is really it. Look, I've had all those kinds of incidents come up all the time. But anyway, it's been good talking to you guys tonight. I'm glad you tuned in. And we'll be back again on Thursday, Lord willing, and nothing happens, at 12:30 for our impromptu. Looking forward to being back with Pastor Norman again. He's been on the road.
Yeah.
Looking forward to getting with him on another conversation. And I hope you can tune in to us. It's at 12:30. If you don't, it's okay. We'll see you again on Sunday at 10. And we'll be back live and in color.
Thank you for the response on the gifts, and I'm sure you guys have had a good Father's Day this weekend past, and every day is a good day for all of us.
Baby girl's bringing us her toys now.
Yeah.
Yes, Linda, we'll see you on Thursday. Pastor Norman's giving us a thumbs up. He'll be with us. And is that Leon that you have in your picture, Linda? Is that Leon? That's her new dog. Well, it's not new now.
Right. You had a picture of Leon?
It's her most recent dog.
Oh, yeah, I see.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's a good puppy. That's a good puppy.
Yeah. So anyway, we'll be back. We love you guys. We'll see you next time.
Okay. Bye-bye.